When we speak of Lords of Cinder, we usually speak of ambition, of men and gods who reached too far, who clung to power, who tried to shape the world in their own image. Yhorm the Giant was not one of them. There is no legend of conquest tied to his name, no divine mandate, no hunger for control. There is only silence, a silent throne, a silent city, and a giant who burned himself because no one else would. In Dark Souls, giants are never allowed to simply exist. They are enslaved in Lordran, hunted in Drangleic, reduced to weapons, labor, or memories. To be a giant is to be feared before you are known. Yhorm carried that burden from the beginning. When he rose to power in the Profaned Capital, it was not because the people trusted him. It was because they had no other choice. He was stronger than their enemies, larger than their walls, capable of standing between them and annihilation. Yhorm did not demand loyalty. He accepted responsibility. And that difference matters. Power did not corrupt Yhorm. That alone makes him an anomaly in Dark Souls. He ruled carefully. He ruled patiently. He ruled knowing that every mistake would be blamed not on circumstance, but on his nature. A giant king could never be allowed to fail. His people lived in safety, but never in comfort. They slept behind his shadow, and shadows always feel threatening when you forget why they exist. The Profaned Capital was not always ruins and ash. It was a city built around forbidden power. Deep beneath it burned the Profaned Flame, a fire that did not follow the rules of the world. It did not fade, but it also did not renew. It simply persisted, consuming slowly and without mercy. At first, it was a gift: warmth, energy, industry. The city prospered, and like all prosperity in Dark Souls, it came at a cost no one wanted to acknowledge. Yhorm tried to contain the Profaned Flame. That detail is important. He did not unleash it. He did not worship it. He did not exploit it recklessly. He failed to stop it. And in Dark Souls, failure is indistinguishable from guilt. When the capital burned, when the flame consumed everything, the people did not curse the fire they had benefited from. They cursed the giant who had promised to protect them. This is the cruelest part of Yhorm's story. His people did not rise up against him. They did not overthrow him. They simply turned away. Fear returned, suspicion returned, and Yhorm was left ruling ruins, a king without a kingdom. When the call to link the fire came, Yhorm was already broken. Not physically, but spiritually. He had failed the one duty he cared about. And yet, when faced with the choice, let the world fade or burn himself to preserve it, Yhorm did not hesitate. He chose the fire. Not because he believed it would fix everything, but because he believed someone else deserved a chance. Yhorm did not link the fire to be remembered. He did it knowing history would misunderstand him, knowing his people would never forgive him, knowing his sacrifice would not undo the damage. He burned anyway. That is not heroism. That is resignation born of love. Before he burned, Yhorm prepared for the future. The Storm Ruler was forged not as a weapon of war, but as a safeguard. Yhorm understood that Lords of Cinder do not return as themselves. If he rose again, it would be as something hollow, something dangerous. So he did what no tyrant ever does. He gave the world permission to kill him. Siegward of Catarina is not a knight fulfilling duty. He is a friend honoring trust. The promise between them was simple. If Yhorm ever returned, Siegward would end him. not in hatred, not in judgment, but in mercy. When Siegward enters the arena, there is no challenge in his voice, no triumph, only sorrow and resolve. When Yhorm rises again, he does not roar. He does not seek vengeance. He does not even recognize his failure. He simply exists, a remnant of duty without purpose. And when the storm ruler strikes him down, Yhorm does not resist, because sacrifice was always the only language he knew. Yhorm was not remembered as a protector. He was remembered as a monster. And that is Dark Souls at its most unforgiving. Sometimes the kindest rulers are crushed first. Sometimes sacrifice changes nothing. And sometimes the world survives only because someone was willing to burn alone. Yhorm did, and no one thanked him.